Hello, this is Louie.
Hi, Louie. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
Um, Busy. I think I'm no busy compared to you, but I'm busy.
You got a lot going on?
Oh, just yeah, just work. Just that in that time of year, December is always busy.
Awesome.
Well, I'm so glad to talk to you because I've seen you many times, but I've never interviewed you. So I'm excited to interview you for the first time.
Well, I'm excited too. Thank you.
Actually, probably the first time I saw you was when you and Chris Tomlin were touring with the Amazing Grace, the song, from the actual soundtrack, and you were doing a tour, and he had brought out the piano and had the beautiful leaves, everywhere, and you spoke, and it was just amazing. So I don't know how long that's been. It's been a few years, but that was just fantastic, and that was my first lifetime just get to know you as a speaker. So really enjoyed it, and I watched several of your things on Facebook, and I'm a I want to say a fan. That's kind of weird, but I truly enjoy your sermons or your speeches, whatever you want to call them. You're ministering to the public. I very much enjoy them, and of course, the Passion Ministry as well. So I'm very honored to talk to you today. So I'm excited you're on Winter Jam. I was like, wow. I mean, when they got a speaker, they went for broke this year. They got Louie Giglio. I'm excited. So are you excited to be on Winter Jam?
I'm pumped about it. I love Winter Jam. Crowder's been on quite a few times, so we've been out to Winter Jam a lot to see him play. And to be out with our family, the Passion Band and Crowder, we're all leading church every week together and doing life together. And for me, it's just pretty cool, to be at this stage of life and to get a chance to be included in these nights and see what God's doing. So I'm really excited about it, really honored to be a part of it, and most excited about getting to do it with our family.
And it's kind of like worship jam this year. It's got Hillsong Young and Free and Passion and Crowder and you and new song. I mean, there's a lot of worship elements to the Winter Jam to this year. It's got incredible worship elements to it.
Yeah, I think that the whole, nature of music, if you will, sort of migrated slowly towards worship. And I love it. I think that there's a place for all kinds of songs encouraging people in their lives. But we're singing all these songs at church every weekend. And it seems like when all the churches in a city get together, to be singing those same songs in an arena with thousands and thousands of people is something powerful about that. So I'm looking forward to all the aspects of it, from the crazy stuff from Andy Mineo to
To Red.
some of the newer artists that are in the mix, and definitely I think the worship element is going to be super strong.
And so I just was looking at your schedule is mad crazy. I assume that you have some kind of regimen that keeps you sane and healthy, and but or it's your beautiful wife, or all of it. But I see, so Passion at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. How crazy. This looks so amazing. You have to be excited. I love the 2020 because I've seen many people talk about that being, a year of vision, because of the
Yeah.
2020. So are you kind of looking forward to this incredible stadium and for what Passion's doing this year?
Well, we've either lost our minds or God is going to do something extraordinary, or both. But being in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on New Year's Eve, bringing in a new decade, and that's the big story, I think, this year that a lot of people aren't talking about yet. We've been through 20 years of two really non-definable decades, and this is the first, definable decade for a long, long time, for a lot of people's lifetimes, to get to the 20s. The 20s, that's what we're entering into, the 2020s. And to turn that page with a stadium filled with people all focused on Jesus, believing him, trusting he's going to fling us out of that place as arrows to the world for his glory, it really is stunning and extraordinary. It's rare. And, we've done Passion for 23 years, and So this time of year, almost every year, we're sensing something big. We're on the brink of something large, as Crowder would say. But this year is a little different. And I don't know all of what that means. I know it's the 20th anniversary since we did a gathering called One Day 2000, which was an outdoor event in Memphis, Tennessee, and it was probably the most powerful day I've ever been a part of in my life. And to be 20 years after the 2000 gathering, coming back to Mercedes, I really do believe something extraordinary and history-making is going to happen. So we're confident, we're humbled, we're believing, we're hustling, we're working hard still. We got 27 days to go and a lot of ground to cover before we get there. But I believe God's prepared the way, and I believe we're gonna be amazed and on the backside of it.
I wondered, speaking at so many different events, especially right now, do you find it difficult to, I don't know how you want to say it, but navigating the political climate while you're speaking? You know, there's so much, such a division right now. Do you find it either daunting, or do you find it like a way to bring unity? I mean, it seems like it's very, very difficult to say anything without someone being offended or a political thing made out of it. I mean, do you have that difficulty?
I think as long as we keep the message on Jesus, then, you can navigate a divided nation. Jesus divides in a different way, either for him or against him, either with him or you're not. He's either the Lord of your life or he's not the Lord of your life. And so he in his own way, calls us up to truth and light. But for me, my message isn't really about what's happening in the newspaper, what's happening in the headlines so much, or certainly not about, what's going on and all the political turmoil that we're in. The message is people are hurting. All people are hurting.
Right.
Democrats are hurting. Republicans are hurting. Democrats' families are struggling. Republicans' families are struggling. Democrats' family members are taking their lives, and Republicans' family members are taking their lives. And people are looking for meaning, and they're looking for something powerful, and they're looking for an identity and looking for a place. And so I think you just preach Jesus. You keep the message on the gospel. You keep people's eyes on the truth of God's word, and let it do what it's going to do, and try to stay out of the, out of the turmoil and the conflict, because, man, it's hard to have a conversation with people right now about anything. But certainly just to keep Jesus at the center. And as a pastor, I lead a church of people who I'm fairly confident vote on both sides of the political spectrum, who have deep feelings on both sides of the political spectrum. And that's not insignificant. It's just that when we walk through the door and gather together as a body, the name above every name is Jesus.
Yeah.
And the story above all the stories is Jesus. And the hope above all hope is Jesus. And so there is level ground at the foot of the cross. I know that's a saying that we've always said for a long time, but it really is true. And that's the message. And in any situation I walk into, that's going to be the message. And I trust that if somebody struggles at the end of one of those gatherings, it'll be because they weren't ready to give their life to Jesus. It won't be about some other issue that's lesser than that.
And it's such I think, a need of hope. I think hope is so, it's such a dire need right now. It really is. And the lack of hope is where a lot of these things turn to, and they try to put their hope into the world or worldly things, and they always obviously fall flat, and that can be so disparaging. And so, so they turn to some really dark things because they lack the hope that's real. I have a question. You have what's I think was really cool is how great is our God. You have a family experience kit and lunchbox cards and books, and I love this. That's new.
It is. We released a book about 2 years ago called Indescribable, and it was 100 devotions for kids about God and science, and it was such a breath of fresh air. We were blown away and are blown away by the response, not just by kids, but by their parents. Everyone seemed like they were encouraged and excited and learning all kinds of new things. And The downside was it was only 100 devotions, and I think some families have already been through it 2 or 3 times now.
That's a good thing.
It was time for something new, so our team worked hard. We put together Volume 2. It came out just a couple of weeks ago, and we're as excited about it as we were Indescribable. It really is a great experience. Kids are loving it. And so, yeah, we're thrilled. There's 100 new indescribable devotions about God and science called How Great Is Our God. It's available right now everywhere books are sold.
And then you have lunchbox cards. How cute is that? I mean, just being able to do that for kids.
Like a little, people say, what are the lunchbox cards? Think of it more like a Post-it note. It's a little stack of stickies. You tear one off. You put it in there with the sandwich or the little, lunch sampler or the snackables or whatever you're sending, the fruit or whatever healthy lunch you're sending your kids off with. And each one of them has a little fact about science on it. And then what we're hoping is that the mom or dad or whoever is making the lunch that day would just write a little note on there that says, hey, I believe in you. Hey, you're the best. Hey, study hard today. And it just gives that little personal touch, and it gives the kids something as they're sitting at the lunch table
to read.
They got a little fact, that they can throw out to all the kids sitting around them if they're looking for a topic of conversation.
My kids would have rather had that than the embarrassing notes I gave like, Mom loves her little baby, they would have preferred this.
Hey, yeah, you can still write that on the back.
Oh, yeah. My kids are in their 20s, but 2 are still in college, so I'll figure out a way to sneak them in their car.
There you go.
Well, I know you've got many more interviews to go to. Thank you so much, Louie, for the interview, and I cannot wait to see you at Winter Jam and praying for incredible things at Passion this year. New Year's Eve starts the next year off in a fantastic way for God and His vision for us. And thank you for all you do. I'm just really grateful for you and ministry that you're still doing what you're doing. Keep it on. Keep doing it.
Thank you for all the kind words and encouragement today. You have no idea how much that means to me, and grateful for the time with you, and I hope the rest of your interviews and all the rest of your day goes amazing.
Well, you too. Have a blessed day, Louie.
Okay, you as well. Thank you so much.